Well, it's a huge few months of cricket coming up. Obviously, in October, the ICC One Day International World Cup is on, which you will hear every ball live and exclusive on Talk 100.3. But come January, we're into Season 2 of the second most watched cricket league in India and around the world, the DP World ILT20. I was excited for the first season, Neil. I'm even more excited for the second season.
Well, I mean, see, this is what happens with every tournament, right? If you have the right pieces in place, it just gets bigger and better. And ILT20 started off on the right note, and I'm so sure with the addition of the players like Shaheen Shafri, David Warner, Ambati Rayudu, and a certain David White, I think we'll get it all right.
Well, our next guest is the new Chief Executive Officer of the DP World ILT20. He was previously the CEO of New Zealand Cricket for 12 years, where under him the Kiwis went to 2 World Cup finals, won the World Test Championship, and were crowned the nice guys of world cricket by everyone except Australia. But in his career, we didn't really want to touch on his career, but he played 2 tests, including against Waqar Younis and Wasim Akram. David Waite, congratulations on the position, and thank you for joining us here in the studios.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it and excited about the opportunity.
And what was it like facing Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis?
Yeah, I was talking about it before. It was back in 1990. Karachi was my debut, and
Wow.
I'll never forget, it was Martin Crowe's birthday. He was our captain, so he thought it'd be a nice, good idea. It was a green wicket, and he thought he'd bat first to get 100 for his dad, which we as openers didn't really enjoy. But no, it was fantastic, and my record was not very good, but it was a great honour to play against Waqar and Wasim.
No doubts about that. I know Waqar and Wasim at their peak were menacing. Even today, if you actually ask Wasim to come out and bowl, he'll still be as good. But tell me something, David. Being a cricketer and then getting into an administrative role, not many people are able to do that. Most of them get into coaching or they get into commentary. But getting into administration, was that like an inner calling, or was that like a little push that, hey, David, do it?
Yeah, it was an interesting one for me. I was playing cricket professionally, and I kind of figured that I wasn't going to be a long-term international player. So I went back when I was 28 and did an accountancy degree. And the first administration I got involved in was rugby. So I was the inaugural CEO of the Hurricanes in the Super 12, and then the Blues, and then I did Bristol Rugby. And then I came back to New Zealand cricket, which was a passion of mine, and it was a natural job for me to do, which I've really enjoyed for 12 years.
What a career. And now you found yourself in Dubai. What was it about this job that really attracted you to come here and take on the role for the DP World ILT20?
I think the opportunity. I think Dubai and the league has got everything. It's got 3 fantastic grounds, great wickets, great practice wickets, a fantastic time of the year for the climate. Right. The players love it because they don't have to travel like the other leagues. So I thought it was a really cool opportunity, something that I'm really looking forward to. And I know they did a good job the first year,
Yep.
but I think our aim now is to really take it to another level, and I'm really excited about the opportunity.
And obviously with these great players and you've got these fantastic clubs, but what do you think are some of the big challenges? Is it trying to get some big crowds for that 6:30 start? Is that the fact that we're playing a lot of this cricket where traditionally in a lot of countries it's summer holidays and school holidays and you don't have that, to play with? What are some of the challenges facing the league?
I think my take on it is that from a cricket point of view, it went well.
Yeah.
The conditions were good. So no issues there. The standard of the players was good, although, as you said before, I think the talent has stepped up this year, as well as not only the international talent, but I also think the local UAE talent has stepped up as well. Our big challenge, no question, is to fill the stadiums, get fans engaged, to try and build some rivalry between Abu Dhabi, Sharjah and Dubai, and work closely with the franchises to do that. And I think now the team did a great job last year, but I think now our focus over the next few months is to really create that fan engagement and to get fans into the ground and promote the game.
You mentioned about the domestic talent doing well. There is a tournament that's coming up, the development tournament, with 300 plus entries coming in. You've picked up 84 lads who will be playing across 6 teams. Could you tell us more about that? What was the thought behind this developmental tournament?
I think the development tournament is fantastic. So last night there was an auction, if you like, or a draft of 300 players put their name forward, of which 84 players were selected. Of those 84 players, 13 are going to go on and represent one of the franchises. It's a fantastic opportunity and a great development tool. I've been really impressed with the talent that I've seen. If you look at an example like young Ian Khan,
he's
17, played for in the Golf Giants last year. Then went on to play international cricket for UAE and played great against New Zealand. They beat them in a T20.
Incredible that was.
And I actually went to Qatar on Saturday and watched them play where they beat Saudi, and he bowled beautifully. This kid's a talent, and there's a lot more of them apparently. So I think the depth of talent is really exciting. So the aim of the league not only is to build cricket here, but is also to bring the local talent through. And I think there's a lot of it.
When you say that, to build talent, and you come from a full member nation where there is enough and more support coming in, where do you see is the gap between a full member nation and associate nation as far as talent development is concerned?
To be quite honest, I don't think it's that much about talent. I mean, there's a lot of cricketers here, and they're very talented. I think it's just the exposure to the international game.
Right.
And, if we can play more games of the likes of New Zealand, and we've got a big series coming up in Nepal in October, it's just getting exposure to the international game. And the league, the league that the guys can play in January, is going to be a fantastic opportunity for them to develop as well.
Look, I'm looking forward to it. 19th of January it starts, Season 2 of the DP World ILT20, and it's going to be a big 34-match cricketing extravaganza. Have you got a side? Are you able to pick a team to get behind, David?
No, I'm very neutral. But I'll be very supportive of everyone. But, it's going to be tremendously exciting. And like you said before, David Warner, Shaheen Afridi, Shadab Khan, Guptill, to complement the likes of, Hales and Bolt had before. So tremendous players.
When it comes down to the scheduling of the tournament, every cricket administrator says the hardest thing is just how do we find time to have a tournament? How do we find time to make the players available? But you're sort of uniquely placed there in that the Australian T20 League finishes just a couple of days after the 19th. Do you see that as one of the advantages alongside the location of where we are in Dubai to attract the players?
I think it's a really interesting question and an interesting time for cricket. I think that the leagues can coexist with bilateral cricket. And in January 19, like you say, the Aussie League would have finished pretty much. Pakistan League wouldn't have started. And of course, the players in England aren't playing at that time. There might be a little bit of international cricket going on, but it is a fantastic time of the year. But also the weather conditions in Dubai are just beautiful and perfect. And I know the players really enjoy coming here.
Yeah, well, I think you made that great point. We spoke to Marcus Stoinis, and he flew out last year. And then when he and a few of the players from the Sharjah Warriors said they were staying on a hotel in the Palm, enjoying the pool on the days off, I was like, I can see why this would be attractive for a lot of the players in January.
Absolutely, and what they can also do is bring their families because they don't have to travel. So for a month, you can have good quality family time, play great cricket as well, and enjoy everything this part of the world's got.
Your work as the head of New Zealand cricket for 12 years, leading into this, I've spoken to the guys a lot here, trying to tell them, New Zealand's predominantly a rugby country.
Used to be.
They lost to France on the weekend, but I mean the All Blacks are part of the DNA of every New Zealander, and cricket is popular, but it's nowhere near rugby. What are those challenges that you bring, where you're not the dominant sport in a country, help you those lessons to taking a job like this?
No, firstly, as an Australian, was brave to mention rugby, but we won't go there.
You're doing better than us.
But no, we've actually made tremendous progress with cricket. We own the summer in New Zealand. The team has done incredibly well over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Yep. And they're well supported by the public now. Of course, rugby is very much in the DNA. But quite interesting in New Zealand at the moment, the NRL team, the Warriors, have just made the top 4 as well. They play Brisbane this weekend.
So that's rugby league, yeah.
Yeah, the rugby league, and so it's quite massive in New Zealand as well. So they play Brisbane on Saturday night for the semi-final, I think. So league is big, as is rugby, obviously, and cricket is big as well.
And in your time, what were you most proud of? Was it the World Test Championship that you oversaw? Was it the way internationally New Zealand was suddenly well renowned as this tough side that perhaps previously they weren't given the recognition they possibly should in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah, I think as a administrator, CEO,
Yeah.
I'm really proud that we're able to transform the organisation from, pretty much subsistence living to being sustainable commercially as well. So we can compete with all the countries around the world.
Right.
But from a playing point of view, our talent, we've got good talent. We've got good depth now. To make the last two World Cup finals and win the World Test Championship is something I'm incredibly proud of. And it is not by accident. We've worked really hard on our pathways, our talent ID, and New Zealand cricket's in a good place.
Oh, it incredibly is. Now, you mentioned something about being in a good zone commercially as well. For the DP World ILT20, would there be a little bit of your focus on making it a commercial success as well?
Absolutely. I think it is incredibly important that the league is sustainable from a commercial point of view as well. We've got some, great partners. DP World, for example, has come on board. We've got Z doing the broadcast. But I think in association with the franchises, we've got to build that commercial model to make it sustainable. So that's going to be a big focus of mine, is driving revenue through sponsorship, fan engagement, like I said before, but also making it sustainable for the franchises.
Yeah, and is that hard locally, that people might just see this as a television product, to be able to say that we've got brands here, cricketing sides, that are connecting with the audience to help a brand find that commercial value?
I think that we need to develop the vehicles for the brands in the UAE to get exposure as well, and something we're working on at the moment. But I just think it's a massive opportunity. When you drive in Dubai, look at the number of companies.
No, you bet.
It's massive, and the population. And we've just got to switch the button to make sure people know it's on, get fans excited, and get them to come along to the games as well, and get corporates to invest in the competition.
I mean, it's a very unique position that we sit in here in the UAE with a massive expat population that we have. You spoke about so many people, but then they all come from different countries. So the spread of word of a tournament, which is essentially a UAE tournament, but has connections with countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh inherently, because there are people from those countries maybe playing for UAE. Right. So does that also tell you that, hey, maybe the communication has to be going out not just within UAE, but outside UAE to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka as well?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think first and foremost, we need to focus on the UAE. We need to be diverse in our approach. Of course, we've got to attract Indian, Pakistan, Bangladeshi, Afghan people as well. But we've also, like you said, got a big expat population who love sport. You look at the people that go to the sevens or the tennis or the golf. Somehow, we've got to engage those people as well and address the whole population of Dubai, because there's massive opportunity here. If we can get the word out there that people can come along, have a great experience, a great time, whether you're a family or a corporate or a bunch of mates, we've got to provide that vehicle for them.
Yeah, I think that's right. I do know particularly of some English families where the dads flew to London to take their kids to the Ashes, but hadn't taken them to a T20 match. So the fans are here. It's about trying to find a way to connect with them.
That's right, and that's our opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be doing a lot of work in the schools as well. So we're going to have a school competition and doing a lot of engagement with schools. We're going to introduce something that you would have seen in Australia a lot. We're going to have children playing matches on the ground before the games.
Before the games, right.
Getting that engagement.
Yeah.
Gets mums there, take
Mums
the kids,
and dads
sisters
and
are there,
grandparents.
everyone.
They're all there. So we're going to do that as well, just to get the whole community involved. So I'm really excited about the opportunity. I think it's endless.
Well, we're looking forward to it. 19th of January, Season 2 kicks off for the DP World ILT20. The Chief Executive Officer, David White, has been in the studios. Congratulations on the role. Good luck with the success. And hopefully we catch up to you before the start of the season.
Thank you. And I look forward to coming on again. Thank you for the opportunity.
TSB, Talk Sport Business, here on Talk 100.